So ever since Mario Kart World was announced a week and a half ago, the only concern that people have had is the price. It's $80, which is $20 more than people are used to paying for games, although Tears of the Kingdom was $70, so I guess we should have seen it coming, but people are only concerned about the price, not even the content in the game. So today, I wanted to just analyze the content that's in Mario Kart World and not discuss the price. So anyway, before we get started, I would really appreciate if you would subscribe to my channel, like the video, and turn on post notifications if you want to know when I will post next. But I'm trying out a new style of video today where I'm more so discussing openly rather than scripting, so tell me if you like it down in the comments. So the first thing that I've noticed about Mario Kart World, and Nintendo has really wanted to emphasize this, I mean in their Treehouse presentation they were clearly emphasizing it. I'm sure somebody told the playtesters to discuss it, but there's this new concept where you can drive on the rails of the tracks, like the guardrails, and you essentially get a drift boost when you do it. So it's almost like drifting, but you're driving on the rails. So this kind of reminds me of the half pipes in Mario Kart Wii, but you know they've kind of revitalized the concept and made something that might be faster, because the half pipes were really kind of a diversion. It wasn't really a fast way to ride the track. So it's kind of a neat feature that you can take advantage of while you're driving along the course. I don't know how big this is, like if how many times is it included, throughout the map, this huge open world map. Is it just in the areas that the playtesters were driving around, or is it like everywhere? It's not a huge addition. It's kind of cool. I mean, I'll be using it and seeing how it feels. Maybe it feels great. I haven't played it yet, so I don't really know. But the next thing that I also noticed, and that a lot of people noticed, is that the Grand Prix mode, when the playtesters were testing it during the Nintendo Treehouse, basically, instead of driving from, driving around the course, the first course, and then being automatically transported to the second course like you'd expect in a Grand Prix mode, you have to drive between the courses. Now, this seems like a cool concept on paper, but when you take a look at it, you do the first track, it's 3 laps, but then you immediately start from that track, but you start driving towards the next course. And it takes 2 laps of the next race just to drive there. So essentially, the second course, you're only driving 1 lap around the actual course because you're driving to the next course. And I'm not sure how I feel about this, because this could be a cool addition, but at the same time, it's like, couldn't it be pretty boring, because it's just these straightaways. It's not really, there aren't many turns because you're driving to a track. It's like driving down a highway. How exciting is it? Not very. So I don't know how this will be, but with the 24-player Mario Kart, maybe it'll work well. I'm just not sure yet. Nintendo also announced 2 new modes in the trailer. So the first one is Knockout Tour. Now, I'm pretty excited for this one, because what you do is there's like a set amount of tracks you drive through, right? And this is where the interconnection between like the open world concept of this game, how you can basically drive everywhere. You drive through each track, but it slowly eliminates people at the bottom. So like, it's a 24-player game, right? So it'll be like, the first time around, it'll be like top 20. So if you're 21, 22, 23, or 24, by the time you reach the next section, then you'll be eliminated. And then it'll be like top 16 make it. So then the next 4 players are eliminated. And then this keeps going until you're at the last section, and then it's just like first place wins. So basically, this eliminates long-term strategy, and you just have to be good short-term. So you just have to be good at the first tracks to really make it somewhere. It's a really cool concept, and I'm pretty excited for this mode. I think it looks really fun. 24 players, it could be pretty chaotic, but as they're eliminated, so it's like, you can't be a noob early on because you're gonna get eliminated. You have to be like good all the way through. So long-term strategies like completely phased out with this, so if you're bad at one track, then you could be eliminated. It's not like where you could make it up in the next track, so it's brutal. I like the idea of it. Speaking of this 24-player mode, so basically, in past Mario Karts, the top amount of players used to be like 12, and some it was even 8. But Mario Kart 8 Deluxe had 12 players. They've now doubled it to 24 players, and this is why maybe the straightaways between the Grand Prix tracks might actually be interesting, because 24 players is a lot to be racing at once. So I'm curious, are items going to be more chaotic? Because, I already thought it was pretty chaotic with the 12-player gameplay where, you've got these lightning bolts and you've got the bloopers spraying their goop. I'm really curious how chaotic it's going to be with items because you've got all these players playing at once. It's a lot going on. So I'm curious how that's going to play out. Mario Kart World also brings some new characters. Now, depending on who you ask, they might love the concept of these, but they might also hate them. They're very interesting characters. So, they're mostly enemies or Bowser's minions that are, like, on the tracks in 8 Deluxe that they're bringing back, or other tracks. It's very interesting. So, we have basic ones, like, we've got Goombas, Piranha Plant, Spike, Dolphin, Pokey, Parabitty Bud. So a lot of enemies. But we've also got like the Piantas from Mario Sunshine. So, on Isle Delfino, essentially the residents. There's like a snowman, a fishbone. So like, dry bones, but the fish essentially that swim around in the water. They were like in the new Super Mario Bros. Games. Peepa, so like the other ghosts that aren't the boos, Stingbee, Cheep Cheep, Coin Coffer, Rocky Wrench, Conkdor. These are very interesting characters, but the one that people have been freaking out about the most is the cow. So the Moo Moo Meadows cow is basically becoming a playable driver, and it actually got, a shot in the trailer rather than just within the other racers. Like, it got its own shot, so people have been seeing that and they've been going crazy, and they're like mixed reactions, but I'm actually pretty excited. I think these are fun new characters. The cow, I can't wait to drive as the cow. Seems pretty funny, but it's really interesting, these choices. Like, they're bringing everybody, but are they bringing the right Mario characters to the game? I don't know. So the other new mode, and this is one that's really going to make this game, it's called Free Roam. So basically, and I don't know if this is going to be multiplayer, but basically, you can go around the entire map, and this is an open world Mario Kart. I'll put a picture of it on screen, but you probably saw it in the trailer if you watched it. But there's this huge map that you can drive around, like basically anywhere on this map. Between all the courses, so you could like practice on a course, you could drive between them, you can do whatever the heck you want. You're not limited by laps or space or barriers. You can drive wherever you want. You can drive completely off track, like in the grass or in the desert. Again, this game has like basically every climate. You could drive in the water. It's really weird, but I'm really excited for it. I hope it's not going to be like the main emphasis of the game, but I think it's a really cool concept. And this is why I'm most excited for this open world. I think that it just looks pretty cool that you can like actually go wherever you want. Really neat concept. Now, one thing I'm sad I haven't seen about this new game, and I hope we get some info on this at the Mario Kart World Direct, is that there's not really a sign of a battle mode. So if you have played Mario Kart before, the battle mode is like they've introduced different battles, but the original one was the balloon battle, where you're trying to go around these courses. They're not actually courses, they're just kind of open tracks. You can basically go anywhere, and your goal is to knock out your opponent's balloons. But there have been newer ones, like I really like the Renegade Roundup, where you've got one team trying to snatch all of like the other team, like eat them and then send them to jail with your piranha plants. And then that team's trying to free their teammates. I hope that comes back if battle mode does come back. But and there have been ones like Shine Thief and Coin Runners. There have been a lot of different versions, but these are generally very well received pieces of gameplay. Like this is good gameplay. People like these. The battle mode is fun because it basically lets you do kind of whatever you want. It's more open, and you're more trying to play on the offensive side rather than just trying to become first like you are in traditional Mario Kart gameplay. So I really hope that comes back, but we haven't seen too much proof that it will. Finally, the Mario Kart World Direct is coming up next week on April 17th. I'm hopeful we'll see some more new features. Maybe I'll cover them on this channel. I might even live stream the Direct. I'm not too sure what I'm gonna do yet, but I'm expecting that it's maybe only 15 minutes, but it could be 20. But they don't do these Directs for nothing. They've got something to announce about this game, and we just don't know it yet. But anyway, those are my thoughts on what we've seen from Mario Kart World. Now, these could change once the Direct airs, but right now, I'm pretty excited for the game. It looks really fun. But anyway, like I said earlier, I'd really appreciate if you would subscribe to my channel and like the video. It really helps me, and tell me what you think of my opinions down in the comments. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.